In 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to Janky AF and my Janky life. Okay, well, first off, Janky thank you to everyone who watched that fleet update video. And I really wanted the next video to be a year of the Aerostar, where we talk about Ford Aerostars on the classifieds. For some reason, it's just been like kryptonite. These are the only videos I can make right now because I never have enough time to sit down and actually do a deep dive and give the year of the Aerostar the attention it deserves, the time it deserves. However, we will get there, I promise. But in the meantime, I just wanted to, come on here and say thank you to everyone for watching and give you a little intermediary update in the meantime. So, I am working on a new painting. And I guess I shouldn't say I don't have time to do the year of the Aerostar, because clearly I'm doing other things. But I'm just in this, I don't have the infrastructure set up right now, and there's a little bit of a barrier to entry. I'm switching over to different cameras, and I haven't, there's a lot of inertia going on. However, I have been painting, and I'm very happy with this one. As you can see, there's this figure here. We'll do a mini little art talk, and some themes I play with. There's like sort of a collage, assemblage thing going on. I like light sources that don't necessarily match. I like perspective that doesn't necessarily match. I like throwing different things together. So, this outlet, obviously, like a little bit of a clue that we are inside here. And then this is outside, either through a bay window or some sort of opening. So I like to smash these sort of disparate, sometimes contradictory elements together. And that is sort of an aesthetic style, but I think it also informs the sort of dualistic nature and, inherent paradoxical structure that I see in life and that I sort of make observations on in my artwork. So you could take that lots of different directions. But that's sort of the rubric or the foundation and just like a little thing. So I have been taking drawing classes also, and shout out to the great dude, Jonathan. I won't say anything more about him because it's, privacy's sake, but great dude. And so that's been really nice to get back to some more technical things. And I recently, I do these, you can kind of see how I do it. Like you get the whole thing done and then you just little tiny pieces, because I'll spend, I think this little thing took me like 2.5 hours probably to do, because you just like this painstaking little thing. But it came out really, really good, and I'm really paying attention to light and shadow and, getting like the eyes behind the little purple frames of the glasses and the highlight on the forehead, the seat backs of the car and the different shadows that's going on there, the sort of, expression of his face. And then, you zoom in and you can see this is actually just a drop cloth. It's not like a canvas you buy at the store. It's just drop cloth because they're cheaper, and I'm a house painter, so that's what I use. I paint with all house paint. But anyways, you zoom out, and it really starts to come to life even more. Obviously a white C4 Corvette with a white interior, very classic. So anyway, I'm just really happy with how that's coming out. So I wanted to, talk about it a little bit. Let's get into some other things. Look at what we have here. Look at how big this is. You don't realize how big this is when you're just, sort of looking at it in the context of everything else. But we have here what looks to be, I guess, like a brand new aftermarket headlight for the mighty Ford Aerostar. And we're actually going to go outside right now through our lovely sunroom. This is like the best part of this house, honestly, and it's been unseasonably warm this time of year, which is a little bit scary, to be honest, and it's thrown my entire life into a chaos, but a chaos with pretty nice weather. Shout out to my folks. They were here helping out with some landscaping, and we actually did get this final little like sort of freeze board, trim board, that little white thing up there above the door and the window with some flashing in there. So this sort of front of the house now is, you can see how cockamamie it is, how crooked the siding above that little freeze board is, but the whole roof is sort of like canted over. So what can you do, you know, like aside from taking all that siding out or putting in some giant panel, like we're just, you know, we're just gonna try to make it decent for now. And once we paint it all the same color, that'll help. So major progress on the house. Been very warm, but usually I try to take like, well, I say a week, it's usually more like 4 days or a weekend off of work. I haven't had a vacation in, you know, forever. And just try to get my life together a little bit between outside and indoor season. You know, before we start interior jobs, usually I have a little bit of say of when we start the interior work. So when the last exterior job wraps up, I can say, hey, I'm gonna start on such and such a date and actually buy myself a little bit of time off. This year, we've had some cooler mornings, but we've also just had a lot of good weather. I mean, next week's gonna be November, probably the first time we ever work outside in November. And we're gonna have a couple days in the 60s, so it just hasn't slowed down and it hasn't stopped. And because of that, oh, that's weird. Did it rain last night? I don't know. It's just been crazy and chaotic and nutty. And I feel like I have not had time to, you know, catch my breath, slow down a little bit, sort of regroup. And then there's all this stuff going on where I'm always just like 5 minutes late. You finish the thing you're just doing, you drop stuff, throw stuff in the car or whatever, and you sprint to the next thing. And it's just been that for like months on end. Now, you know, at night sometimes I have some time, but that's the other thing, like that painting I was working on, I stayed up till 3 in the morning painting the other night. So then I had to get up at, you know, 8 or whatever. So I'm, you know, running on 5 hours of sleep on a Monday, and then your whole week is just, you know, but the point is, it's been a little nutty lately, but we are trying to make progress. Now, I do think that I've kind of resigned myself to the idea that I think I'm just going to try to piece this thing back together, because really all it needs is headlights. Now, I kind of knew this, but I think I just knew it intuitively and not sort of like, it's funny how with the Aerostar you keep learning new things. So this corner light has like, you know, it's like half amber and half, you know, non-amber, and then this is gonna look funny now because of how bright. Ooh, we got our microphone caught in the headlight. You know how bright this is, but it's gonna look weird anyways. Maybe I'll just get another one once I you know, get this thing taken care of. Anyhow, so you have this like beautiful little arch in the bezel, and the triangles are obviously a big part of the Aerostar's design. I've been looking for these online. You come over here and you realize this one is just entirely amber, and obviously I think these bezels are the same, but I really have to find out, because this is like the old school glass headlight that's like sunken in, and then I think it became, you know, law at some point that they have to have the what do you call it, the flush. They have to be flush with the bezel. So I'm wondering if the bezels are actually identical and it just fits in there, or if the bezels are actually different. I think the bezels are actually different because I think there's like a screw hole in that bezel, and this one's like just, unless I'm just, you know, real interesting, I know, but I'm trying to figure it out in real time here. It looks like they are a little different. If you go online, you can see like, you know, 86 through 91 versus 92 through 97, because that's when all these changes happened, around 1992. So I think I'll need to get a new bezel, but I do think that, I'm wondering if this side piece, I think these ambers from here, because this does look, you know, more or less flush mounted, I think these ambers will fit in here, and I would love to make these all ambers. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is getting a grill. Now the grill barely got, I mean, this is cracked and it's a mounting point, so that's kind of rough, but the grill barely, I think I could probably piece this together, but part of me wants to get a 90, let's see if I can remember this, 89 through 91 grill, because it's the newer style grill but with the Ford logo in the middle, and I think that would be just like a cool little nod to people that if you know, you know type of thing. But whether it's worth the trouble to then paint it all and get the exact factory paint, which I'm probably gonna have to do anyways. But the long and the short of it is, I don't think this will start. I think maybe there's some sort of drain going on here, and this will really expose how much of an idiot I am. But it seems like, now it also might just be the battery terminal might just be loose, but I've had this thing on the trickle charger, and now I'm just getting absolutely nothing. I used to at least get a chime. but it's like completely dead. Could be a loose terminal, which I've just been too lazy. I thought if it's making contact, it's fine. But I'm wondering if some of these electrical things are trying to suck power and shorting it out, or I'm just draining it, or if there's something stupid that I'm doing and why the battery's not charging. What is this thing? I don't even know what that is. So I thought this would be pretty easy to put back together. You know, you just take these lights out, put the new ones in. So I'll get all the lights hooked up, and then we'll see if it's charging. If you want to tell me how stupid I am, but then also give me the solution to the problem, that'd be great. I don't mind being told I'm stupid. I know that it's almost a generational thing, where it's, you know, we just like, people my generation, I always regret not going to BOCES because I feel like I would have learned some technical skills, and it's like all just like, you know, go to college and read books, but don't necessarily, you know, get your hands dirty. Now I'm trying to, the last 20 years has been me trying to correct that, but when it comes to basic things like electricity, and I'm still kind of an idiot. Anyhow, I can paint a bald guy scoffing really good in a Corvette though, so if that means anything. So there you have it. Little quick update. The Jetta gone, obviously, and Janky do thank you again to everyone who watched that video. If you're new here and stuck around for the next video, we do appreciate it. This is our Janky little channel where we, you know, just talk about janky stuff. This is like sort of like a little behind the scenes look. That's a great shot right there, isn't it, with the 2 Aerostars? It's nice because now when people come here, I can actually tell them park between the Aerostars, which is just a really fun thing to say. It's going to be time to store the I didn't really get much into the condition of the vehicles last time. The Buick's now got power steering issues going on. The reservoir just drains completely, like very quickly. So some of the lines don't look great, and I'm wondering if I think it's just a leak somewhere because it seems like it's just losing fluid. So that's funny because that was like the one car that was really kind of in tip-top shape. Green Aerostar obviously won't start, so we have to figure that out. But I think once you can figure that out, it's going to be, you know, in pretty much really good condition mechanically. Prius doing great. I'm actually driving this up to Buffalo tonight, which is going to be another late night tonight for old Beef Janky. This thing was acting weird. Let's see if we can start this, because that's the thing I felt bad about. I wanted to start all the cars and have them run all at the same time in the fleet update. But then once the Green Aerostar didn't start, I mean, this thing just starts up like every time. It's crazy. But I just seemed like I wasn't getting a lot of bite from like the clutch. Like it seemed like even though I was like letting the clutch out and giving it gas, it really didn't want to give me much. So that was a little weird. There we go. It seems fine now. Someday I'll take this for another drive with you and maybe actually do a proper review, because it seems like it's actually kind of running nice. But I love the way it starts up. I love the exhaust note on it. Yeah, there you go. I feel like that was a little bit weak. Like it's not. Yeah. Like it's a little raspy again, which I had this issue with fuel delivery. You hear that? It's like it doesn't have full power. If you have an idea what that might be. I gotta take this. My buddy, who I sold the Jetta to actually, and also bought the Aerostar off me, he's found a really good shop, and there's a guy there that actually loves these vans and used to work on them back in the day. So next year, this is the brown Aerostar, the 86, is gonna get like, you know, the full treatment. Now this is funny, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of these older cars, there's a little pin you have to push. Can you see my finger here? Well, you have to push this pin in to actually release the key. So you can't do it one-handed, so excuse me for a second. Which is kind of funny. And this is like second nature now, but if you didn't know it was there, takes some getting used to. Anyways, next year we're gonna give this thing like the works, like just, you know, really dive into it. Electrical system, like I just want the thing like totally gone through. I'm sure it has lots of little issues that have built up over time, and it just seems ever since like 3 years ago, I used to like, you know, drive this thing very regularly, and a couple years ago it had this weird coughing fuel delivery issue. Took it to one shop, they just completely bungled it, basically lied to me and told me they did all the spark plugs, and I drove it home, had the same issue, and then the spark plugs were, or not the, well, yeah, the wires, I could see the wires were the exact same ones I had on there. And then so, you know, finally got it to a better shop, which I'm still going to now, and they did a nice job. It was running a lot better, but it's just, I think it's just tired. It seems like it's always run rich. So I think next year we'll give it like a real proper, and then while I'm at it, I can do some of the aesthetics I've always wanted to do. I want to paint this bumper brown to match the other bumper in the back here, which I did paint myself. And it's not, you know, correct or whatever, but it's fine. And then I really want to get this quarter panel figured out, take it off, pound it out from the backside best I can, and maybe just do a little bit of body filler straighten out. It doesn't need to be perfect, and then sort of just like create a similar, great lines, you know, the tan and then like the light brown and the almost copper in there. It really is tremendous. Get the badging back on, like just, you know, take care of it a little bit. So there you go. We're running long as we always do here on Janky AF. I hope you don't mind that, and maybe you appreciate the little extra janky talk. So there's a post fleet update for you. I promise at some point we'll get some Year of the Aerostars out, because it's driving me crazy now, and I've already missed out on a couple of good ones, and I want to get the couple more good ones before they go by the wayside, because, you know, once they disappear, you may never see them again, and I want to document them for posterity. Very, very excited with, I responded to like a boatload of comments the other day. Some of them were recent, some of them were older, so I apologize if it took me a while to get to your comment. I try to respond to all the comments. And that's my janky life in a nutshell. So a beautiful fall day here. We got to go to work now and make a little bit of money so we can pay the bills, pay off the debt. We are still paying off the debt, and we'll do sort of like an economic update in a later video perhaps. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta start stopping talking. All right, so there you have it. We'll have another one for you very soon, and hopefully some more Aerostar videos coming up soon. And until then, janky do thanky.